Hey guys, welcome back to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. Can you believe it? It's the end of the month again, and here I am looking at the GPU stats for the month of June. Now, I must admit, the crypto market for the last month, in my opinion, has been a little bit meh. There hasn't been a lot going on. Prices has been stabilized. There wasn't a lot of projects launching cool stuff up until the last couple of days. It's actually gone crazy. Not necessarily the prices, well, unless you are a Casper miner, Casper's price has pumped crazy. I'm not sure if that is the Marathon Digital news or it's KRC20. I had a look this morning when I woke up and KRC20 launched. The network is hell of a congested, fees are high. So it's actually quite interesting to see the dynamic with Casper and their throughput and actually people adopting and using it. Now, the other thing is there are the proof of useful work open beta, or at least open alpha has started. At least customers are now using the Flux network. So there's actually been a couple of stuff going on, but that is in the last couple of days, to be honest. Now, I'm not here to cover those type of things. I'm here to do my normal monthly GPU stats video. Now, what do I look at in that video? Well, I have a look and see at what people are mining and what are the trends. Now, the typical things that we will look at in this video is what is the most popular coin people are mining, what is the market share between AMD and NVIDIA GPUs. We'll have a look and see what is the most popular GPUs in both NVIDIA stable, and then have a look and see what is the most popular for people that are using AMD GPUs. And lastly, we are going to have a look at what is the most popular GPU mining software people are using. Now, as always, let's get the disclaimers out of the way. Well, we are going to make a use of the HiveOS statistics. And why is that not perfect? Well, it is not the only mining operating system out there. So there's a lot of people using all sorts of different things, either that being SMOS, people still mining on Windows, people using Flux Core. There's a whole bunch of stuff people are using to mine. So it's not exactly the whole market, but why do I like it? Well, it gives me a good idea. It's very popular and it gives me an idea in trends. I'm pretty sure the typical trend that I'll see looking at HiveOS statistics would be also carry over to some of the other operating systems. So that's really why I'm looking specifically at the data and the trends. I'm not really so interested in the raw number necessarily, but just the trends from one month to the other to see what people are doing. But that's enough of me talking about it. Let's jump on the computer and I'll show you how the stats has changed from last month.
Okay, so here we are on the computer. Now, I've got the HiveOS statistics page open here, and I'll leave a link in the video description in case you wanted to go and have a look at this yourself. But starting off with the most popular coins. Now, looking at the coins here, you can see top 5 is still Cubic, Zephyr, and then Xallis, then Ravencoin, then Bitcoin again, that's on ASICs, and then Dynax and Gram and Ironfish. So that is the most popular coins. Now, what I actually found interesting, again, if I look at the data that I'm tracking specifically, is what I can see here. What's interesting for me is Dynax scored a little bit of a bit. So if you look at its percentage, it's jumped almost double. So it's definitely caught a bit. And then again, the other one here that I found interesting is Gram. So Gram also went up. And that obviously is at the expense of something else, right? There's only so many miners. I don't see a ton of new miners necessarily. I do see the odd one in Discord, but looking at the losers then, the biggest one being Cubic and Xallis. So obviously the hash rate and people are dropping off of those specific algos. Now, next up, let's have a look at the market share between AMD and NVIDIA and maybe Intel. So again, if I jump back to HiveOS, scroll a little bit down, and here you can see it's still NVIDIA dominated with 77% and 23% AMD. Now again, if I go back to my sheet, you can see it's been trending this way. It doesn't look like there's actually been a change, but if I look at my own app that I wrote here, it's not the prettiest thing, but it actually works. So if I look at GPU brands and then flick to NVIDIA, you can see it's been trending up. And this is sort of the same story what we've seen for the last couple of months. It's just NVIDIA GPUs are just more popular for mining. Now, if we go back and have a look at the most popular GPUs, and starting on the NVIDIA side here, 3070 is still the most popular, followed by the CMP30HX, followed by the 3060 Ti, the CMP50HX, the 1660 Super, 3080, 2060, 4060 Ti. So the first 40 series cards is the 4060 Ti. Now, again, if we have a look at the changes, to be honest, hasn't been that interesting for me to follow. I haven't really seen anything that interesting. What I'm seeing here is sort of what I'm expecting. I have been seeing a lot of 1660 supers on sale or people trying to offload them. And I can see here again, some of the GPU or the later GPUs has sort of increased here. So again, if you look at the 30 series cards versus the 20 series cards, so that sort of tells me that people are cycling out the older gen for some of the newer gen that might be more efficient. Now, if I jump into the Hive stats, specifically looking at the AMD GPUs here, top dog 5700 XT, followed by the 580, the GOAT, and then the 1660, and then the 6700 XT, 6600 XT, 578 gig, and 5700. So those are the most popular GPUs. Now, again, this has been interesting for me to follow. At least the 5700 XT surpassing the 580, and I think that was the first time last month. So if I just jump back into the stats here, you can see in terms of notability here, the trend has continued on the 580 as people start switching off the 580s. And this goes back a long time. Basically, since the Ethereum merge, people have been switching off 580s and swapping them for other GPUs here. So again, the 5700 XT keeps on going up. And I see the same type of stuff when I look at the models, right? So if I go to my AMD models and have a look at the 580s, it's been trending down at least for the last month, and then going a little bit up, but continuing to go down at least. Again, if I look at the 5700 XT, sort of the same trend that we have been seeing here. This is daily data as opposed to monthly, but I'll keep this in parallel just to keep track of it. And then hopefully, at the moment, I'm running both systems in parallel, but hopefully at the end of the day, I can just use my app to show you guys the stats in the future. Now, lastly, let's have a look at the most popular mining software that people are using. So if I flick back to HiveOS and scroll a little bit further down, I can still see the custom miners is still the most popular here. So people are still using custom miners, followed by XMRig. So obviously that's the CPU mining, Rigel, LOL miner, and then Team Red miner, some ASICs, G miner, and T-Rex. Now, again, if we have a look and see at the trends, so just jump back to my Excel here. What I can see, I guess the only interesting thing or the notable thing here is 1.0 miner catching a bit. Now, if I'm a betting man here, we saw the Dynex hash rate going up. So I would imagine this is all the people that are jumping on Dynex at the moment. So that's just my theory. Again, if I look at the custom, so I started tracking this last month. So that has been basically more or less the same. So there isn't that many moves here. I guess the only other one is people are switching off Rigel. So I would imagine they're going from Rigel to 1.0 miner. At least that's a theory. Again, if we look at the Dynex hash rate, that has definitely gone up this month. As you can see, it's almost doubled a little bit. So people are moving over to Dynex.
That's it for this video, guys. If you've liked the video, please like the video. And if you didn't, please let me know what you would like me to change. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.